Alright, hello everybody. So our last official lesson here in this unit of Renaissance, Reformation, Revolution, we're going to take a look at advancements in science, so other advancements that are going in science at this time. So our objectives and standards are to recognize the development of the scientific method, and to explain advancements made in science, mathematics, and medicine. Should be a period there, my apologies at the end there. Take a look at the standards. And our desired result. What other advancements were made during the scientific revolution? So we've talked a lot about, studying astronomy and movement of the planet and things like that. We're going to continue to look at that in this lesson, but there's going to be other advancements as well in science. So I want you to think about that as we go through here. So new approaches. Excuse me. Remember that the church was really not happy with Galileo and Copernicus and all of them challenging the whole theory of the Earth being the center of the universe, which they did find out that the sun was actually the center of the universe, not the Earth. But there's still going to be opposition by church officials, but this will not prevent continued studies in science. There will be mathematical calculations and careful observations that will begin to create scientific laws, and this is going to allow for the creation of what becomes known as the scientific method. So thinkers of the scientific revolution. A new way of studying and thinking about the world, which is known as the scientific method, will help expand knowledge. Englishman Francis Bacon, up here for you, and Frenchman René Descartes were instrumental in expanding this. Another period missing there, sorry about that. So, writings by both in the early 1600s challenged the views of ancient thinkers and church beliefs. Francis Bacon, again on the top here, stressed observation and experimentation to help improve the lives of people and technology, while René Descartes, he's going to believe in human understanding, believing, what is going on with human nature and things like that to better understand the world. So here's just an example, and I'm sure you may have seen this in your science classes or elsewhere, but the scientific method. So we ask a question, we state a hypothesis or what we think might happen. We then conduct an experiment to figure out if we were right in our hypothesis. We then analyze the results, if we were right or wrong, and kind of what the outcome was. And then we make a conclusion. And again, it can be tested. That conclusion can be tested again or tested in another way. And that's the scientific method. And that's been used since the scientific revolution by many, many scientists, including yourself, I'm sure, at different times in your life, about different things. So this will definitely help improve the world as well. So moving forward, there were advancements in different areas of science as well, including medicine and chemistry. So new technology, such as the microscope, is going to help advance scientific studies. Human anatomy will also begin to be explored and understood more. And in 1543, Andreas Vesalius, I'm trying to say the best with that, published his book on the study of the human body, which gave a detailed account of the body. So his careful and clear drawings of human anatomy will correct errors from ancient times and actually help people get better quicker. Medicine, understanding what's wrong with people if they have something wrong with them. So this will definitely play a big role in medicine and anatomy as well. So speaking of medicine, French physician Ambroise Paré developed a new way of preventing infection and sealing wounds during surgery. Paré also introduced the use of artificial limbs and invented scientific instruments. William Harvey was an English scholar who described the circulation of blood for the first time and how the heart pumps to force blood through the veins and arteries. Advancements in chemistry. In the late 1600s, Dutch inventor Antoine van Leeuwenhoek, tried saying that name a couple of times, pretty fun, not to be disrespectful to him, but that's a pretty cool name, right? Perfected the single lens microscope. And Leeuwenhoek used this to study the mouth of bees or lice. Now, what he witnessed is really kind of neat. He described witnessing tiny organisms, which will later be explained as microorganisms, such as bacteria, and because of this, he is credited as the founder of microbiology. In medieval time, alchemists believed the material could be transformed into another, such as using magic or whatever the case may be, by turning a metal into gold. And this is going to lead to the study of a new field of science known as chemistry. So we know that chemistry, you can take something and, destroy it or burn it or whatever the case, melt it to try and make another element, right? Sometimes. So scientists of the scientific revolution are going to move away from the kind of magical views and beliefs of the medieval times about chemistry and more towards scientific methods. Robert Boyle, right here, stated that all material is made up of tiny particles, and he's also going to explain gases and temperature as well. So scientific advancements and Newton. In England, as a student at Cambridge University, Isaac Newton studied the work of leading scientists. And actually, Newton developed a theory about why the planets move the way they do by the age of 24, so not too much older than you. Many of you are. He saw an apple fall from a tree and wondered whether it pulled the apple to the ground also controlled the planets. This is according to stories about how he kind of came about with this theory of gravity. Newton perfected his theory over the next 20 years and developed a branch of mathematics as well, known as calculus, in the process. So by using mathematics, he showed that a single force, known as gravity, keeps the planets in their orbits around the sun. In 1687, he published the Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy, which explained the theory of gravity and other workings of the universe. And in 1705, he was knighted by Queen Anne to become Sir Isaac Newton. This is just a fun little picture here I had at the end to kind of show you maybe what happened according to stories with Newton. So he saw an apple fall from a tree. I've heard other stories too where it kind of bonked him on the head, and he wondered why to do that. So, thinking about the apples falling from the trees and then thinking, oh, does that have to do with why the Earth moves around the sun? Is that what keeps it together? Alright, so our closure here. What other advancements were made during the scientific revolution? Think about advancements in anatomy and medicine, advancements in chemistry, and also advancements in mathematics, especially with Sir Isaac Newton and looking at gravity and calculus and things like that. Alright, please include this in your weekly summary. Try your best on the questions that follow, and let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Have a great day, everybody, or a good night. Talk to you soon.